Right, what's going on, guys? This is week freaking 21 at this point. Uh, January has not been the best month, as we know, but this is definitely my least worst month. I'm only down $100 on this week, and I've honestly could have been down only or I could have been up 400, but we'll get into that. I learned a lot of things this week just on my psychology. Just this is actually the first time on Thursday. I'll be honest with y'all. I over traded for the first time in like months. Like it's been so long where I actually like kind of took more trades and I ended up down more than I should have been. Very unfortunate. It literally took my biggest win also this week and my biggest loss. But that win was slightly bigger than that loss, so it's whatever. But it's not whatever. We'll get into that. Monday was MLK Day. Market was closed, but I believe there's still like a decent setup on that day. On Monday around this time, I saw something kind of solid, but obviously I didn't trade. But Tuesday break even. Wednesday good profit day. Thursday, Friday back to back losing days. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So going into Tuesday, I was fairly bullish just because we had this new week opening gap and all these like certain levels that we could potentially target. So I was pretty bullish. So obviously I was looking for longs, continuation longs. Pre-market, we tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap right here. As you can see, it's all the way to the left. I'm not gonna scroll. So at this point, I'm looking for what's the word? A condition. So whenever market opened, we had this 15-minute opened up. So you probably wondering, yes, we did have 1 hour to the left of us, but honestly, I was trusting on the higher time frame bullish structure. So obviously, we had this condition and we got a clean version out of the condition, like the 1 minute or 2 minute or whatever time frame. Oh shoot, whatever time frame it was, I was looking to take along. So that was the plan, and that is indeed what I did. But this trade got break even. So you see, we inverse this 1 minute. I broke even at this swing high, got break even pretty fast, and that was that. And even if I only broke even at this swing high, this trade still would have gotten break even, or potentially would have been. I think no, this trade would have. Actually, this trade would have actually never even hit, like no matter what. Um, but yeah, quick break even. I was targeting the highs right here, and then looked for another continuation later on. Um, I don't even remember what trade what this was. Um, oh, that's what it was. So going into this, we had a 5 minute tab. The lowest 5 minute there was. I believe there was also a 15 along this level. And we had this good 5 minute inversion. It took only two candles, 1, 2, clean inversion, nice V shape out of this level. So obviously break even at this swing high, boom, and then it broke me even. So I was like, all right, done for the day. GG's. Cool. Y'all get the picture? So going into this day, obviously market did what it did on Tuesday. Going back down to this level, we took out previous day's liquidity during pre-market. We tapped into the lowest 4-hour fair value gap of another of the range to the left of us. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, let me see what we have on the 1 hour. So we go to Wednesday on the 1 hour, and as you can see, notice how we tapped this level multiple times. We tapped in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At this point, if we go back down, if we go back into this range again, I'm expecting us to just have a strong reaction off of it, or like displacing past it. Because especially during pre-market, we took out this level. Now we're back into that range. So obviously, part of me is like, dude, there's no way we go even lower after we already took out liquidity and we rejected a 4-hour fair value gap. So right at this point, I'm looking for continuation longs. So targeting this at least this last 1 hour fair value gap. I could have definitely just targeted this level for the trade, but I was just content with my levels. And yeah, so if you go to the 5 minute on Wednesday, we had this. No, I believe no, it was a 15. So ignore this. This was a 15-minute fair value gap, and I believe we had a clean. Turning on my computer right there. We had a clean. A 1 minute IFEG. Yeah. Sorry, I was over here just double checking because I had my notes down to the right of me. Also, UFC fights tonight, guys. Let's get it. Anyways, generational longs, dude. Everyone caught this. If you didn't win this day, then you should quit. No, I'm joking. There's been days where I've messed up and was stupid, and just gotta learn from this. Whenever you have losses and like it's a day where it was like pitch perfect obvious, and you're just like, damn, I feel dumb. Everyone was catching like an obvious setup. You gotta notice these things and fix them. But a lot of times I lose. It's on days that a lot of people lose. But I mean, I'm not trying to compare myself to the 99%. I'm trying to compare myself to the 1%, the people that are improving on these certain little things that are holding them back from improving. So 15-minute tap. 1 minute inversion, took 2 candles, boom, breaking at the swing high, boom, targeted the 1 hour fair value up, boom, $1,000 day. Then I lost $800 the next day. So we'll get into that. Went on tilt. I didn't over leverage. I over traded. Well, honestly, kind of a bit of both because I risked 300 on this. Should have de-risked if I was going to take another trade, and then I ended up just risking the same for all 3 trades, which was very stupid. So going into this day, we had this 4-hour fair value gap that was very clear that we wanted to go to this level. We're so close to it. So I'm just over here like, okay, we wanted to at least probably retrace, go into this 1 hour, 4-hour fair value gap, get a nice inversion out of it, which that's what we got, I believe, around right here. I believe I entered off of like right here. Entered. So close to my break-even point. If you see this box right here, that's where the 5-minute was, so I wanted to break even there. But notice how we just kept wicking. So some people went break-even. Like my friend went break-even because it was one of those days where you just like kind of had a weird feeling about it. It's just like discretionary. It's just like if we really wanted to go to that 5-minute, we would have already gone to it. And like we wicked. Maybe next time I could potentially Wait. No, yeah, that's right. I was going to say, maybe potentially I could just break even a lower leave. It's just not having the most strong momentum to that current level. But, yeah. And then I took this 30-second inversion. Dude, I shouldn't have taken this 30-second inversion. It was kind of dumb just because I just saw the next inversion and just decided, oh, enter. But it really had no good structure just because we did have a 30-second inversion right here, but I mean we have a lot of if I'm getting stocked out of this, most likely we might just dump for a little while and try to go to other levels. Like I don't know, just 30-second wasn't the best idea. The last trade we had what looked like it was a good 3-minute inversion, as you can see on Thursday's price action. I was like, oh, clean 3-minute inversion. Like, this is like the lowest point price is going to get to. We already tapped in 15, 1 hour. This is clean. I did not see a 4-minute. That was rookie mistake. But, dude, if you're zoomed out, you can't even see this 4-minute. You're just like, oh, okay, yeah, the 4-minute, like, this doesn't meet. No, you zoom in. There's clearly a tiny little baby 4-minute fair value gap. So, I didn't see that. That was a terrible trade that I took. Terrible. The first one was the only one that was somewhat valid. Like, all right, solid loss. Like, losses happen. It's inevitable. Whatever. But where I made a mistake is got emotional. Decided to take another trade. Then went to try to find another inversion instead of just like focusing, zooming in, letting it come to me. Even if it was there, I should have just not taken anything. Let me clear the camera, man. Yeah, I should have just let it come to me. Very emotional day. Glad I didn't stop trading because I could have easily kept trading and just been even more stupid. But yeah, the lowest point that I got to on that day, that level. That level. And didn't take anything after that. Thursday was indeed a brutal day. Very brutal. Very upsetting. But even if you wanted to try to find a trade in there, you most likely would have got stopped out for break even. It was just constant chop until we finally displaced back to the upside. So, realistically, it should have just been either a break even day. Like, things like this, like your discretion with years of market experience, or like a year or two, like you'll know like sometimes when you want to break even a little bit earlier. This could have been like literally a break even day, or just a small little lost day. Cool, you lost your $250, $300 for the day. Whatever your set rules are, that's fine. Now that we go into Friday, which was another loss, dude, could have done something better. And honestly, the model is here. Everything looked good. A lot of people took this and lost on it. And honestly, next time I want to wait. Obviously we're looking for continuation longs. There's that 4 hour that I talked about earlier that we wanted a target, and we ended up, obviously, as you can see, TP would have been hit. I literally got stopped out. Boom, got stop rated. A lot of people got stop rated. It was pretty brutal. But I honestly did notice something whenever I was in this trade. We did have a 15 right below us, but as soon as we got the nice clean inversion, the 15 opened up. I was like, oh, it looks clean. Like it's the model's there. But for all we know, we can go lower and then potentially, rally back to the upside. You see this 15-minute fair value gap right here? So as soon as I entered, that 15 opened up. So this candle closed, and then we had a 1-minute inversion along that level. So for all we know, we could have tapped that level and then boom, gone back up. Because a lot of times price tends to draw to like the more exact point, or if there's a fair value gap lower that's stronger, like a 15, it's gonna draw to that and then do the reaction. But I mean, sometimes the market does what it does, and it just has the reaction. One of these days, it just had the reaction off the 5, but it happened to what's gonna call it? Have the inversion. Sorry, I'm over here like someone just walked in. I don't even care. But I had the inversion, went a little lower, got stop rated, never even retapped the 15, and then ended up targeting the level, my level. Initially, as soon as we took out that level, I kind of wanted to take a mech model. So that's like when we take out a high, having the highest time frame inversion, and then target the 5 or 15 below us. Potentially, it's going to keep going up. So we didn't have any of that. But at that point, I was already down, stopped out on the day. So I was just like, you know what? I'm done. There's no point of over trading, over leveraging, being stupid. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, we'll see what the market gives us on next week. Got a lot to learn. I got a lot of learning to do. I'm just going over my notes, going over the chart, see what I did wrong, what I did right. Wednesday was a good day. Thursday and Friday definitely could have been way better. Realistically, I only should have taken one loss, which was Thursday, and should have been very up on the should have been up a good amount on the week. I'll tell you that. So you live and you learn, and gotta learn from this. I can't like get too mad at myself and just like beat myself up over it. I gotta just yes, give yourself a hard time, but don't focus on the past. Don't focus on what was. Focus on what can be. And what can be is just you learning from these things and just fixing them and getting better from them. So that's that. It's currently Saturday. It's about to be 11. So I got a lot of other things to do. And if y'all do watch UFC, y'all go enjoy those fights. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.